Come on, speak up. I'm not. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, namaskar. You know who I am, Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India. I had some problem today. I tried many times to use document share, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So I thought to come to you face to face. I can't show my documents, but I can talk to you. At least talking is not a prohibition. I tried to rely on YouTube. I did not find my account there, so I came back here. I think some problem is faced by Facebook, and it happens that videos broke generally, and today it happens twice or thrice. And I spoke for about 45 signals are there. What happens, I don't know. There may be some problem in document share, or there's a problem here in live face to face. You know, topic of this talk is everyday quality and safety is very important part of life in profession of engineering. And again, you see signals are 0 and 0. I don't know how it works. It's just 1 minute, and signals are video is 0 and audio is 0. I don't know whether I'll be able to continue. Well, let me speak. If it's okay, fine. If it continues, otherwise I'll put it off. What to do? Sometimes it happens. Talk is civil field engineering quality and AnnexSL, COVID, safety, engineers, designs, construction methods, context, organizations, communications, coordinations, all these very important points in profession of engineers, particularly in civil engineering, because without this no project can be completed, no designs can be done. Design itself is very big project, while its implementation is many times responsible. Means without experience you are a designer. This is surprising to me. How can one be designer without experience? Just like how can one be project engineer without having any experience? Design doesn't mean just calculation. No. Design starts with conception. It starts with what you want to give to project, what you want to give to people, what's the level of service. Engineering is very different. I don't go to that detail, but it's really very, very different it is. We may say, we may not say, but facts remains that engineering is different. In a sense that one may agree, one may not agree, but engineering means total build-up. Engineering means total build-up of life. Civil engineering particularly is very specific, though it's very general. I think it's first engineering in world that started engineering from nature itself. But it created many engineering also. You may say, because I am civil engineer, I'm not saying that. You may say that civil engineering is mother of all engineering, because it starts from birds, it starts from God, it starts from skies, which is beyond our control. A bird is very small, but it has mind to think about how to accommodate itself. It may make it nest in your electrical meter board. Inside that, it may make somewhere else in your house, on loft, or somewhere else in your balcony. It has enough place to do it. This means a bird which is very, very small level creature. You can fly. I can't fly, bird can fly. I'm quite small creature, much more stronger than what I have. But thinks how to accommodate. A dog can accommodate itself temporarily even for a few hours below a car. Same thing, it finds accommodation. This means accommodation is very important for everybody. It may be animals, it may be birds, or it may be ourselves. Accommodation to live, accommodation to work, accommodation to do whatever you want to do. It's very important matter, issue. And I don't want to confine myself to one branch of engineering or one subject of engineering. I don't like it. One should be open-handed, widespread. Okay, you know one thing, that's fine. You are civil engineer, you are design engineer, you are planning engineer, whatever sort of engineer you are. It depends on your experience, where you are concentrated. You do not have any plan that I will be this much. One who plans can never be that much. It's opportunity you get in your life and you become that. Sometimes people think one thing, it happens other way. Because you are here because of God, and God wants one thing. You have to do that, means you have to do that. If I say, no, I want to become top professional engineer, what shall I do with that? I don't want to be top. No. I want to be real. Engineer should be real. That's why I understand. Means I don't believe in top or bottom, or I'm awarded, I'm not awarded. My award is my work, that's it. Because I did that. I don't want any recitation, no. I don't want any medal, no. What for? My medal is my performance. How much I perform, that is my award. Forget salary, forget something else. No, I don't care for that. That's different, that's agreement. But what accuracy I have done, what speed I have achieved, what quality I have given, and how my efforts perform for others, that I have to evaluate, because I am expert. I am born to calculate. I am born to assess. When I say I, it's not myself. I here means everybody. I means engineer. We are educated engineer, a qualified engineer, and there are many engineers who can do job, but they are not educated. I consider mason also a part of engineer, carpenter also a part of engineer, a technician also a part of engineer, a supervisor also a part of engineer, a foreman also a part of engineer. Why? Why not? They support me. I don't do as foreman, I don't do as welder, I don't do as plumber, I don't do anything myself. I just say do it. I say, or mechanical engineer says, or electrical engineer says, or someone else says, do it. This means my performance is not direct as an engineer. My performance is to think and to tell or direct, because my thinking is based on practical experience. I plan. Engineer plans. Engineer plans thinking of many aspects, many factors, many ways that would come into our plan to obstruct. And that's what we have to view. We have to foresee. That foreseeing is based on experience, and what obstructions could come in, that we have to see, what difficulties we have to face, that can be resolved in advance. And that's where engineering lies. Work of mind is engineering. It's not, you can say, simply book engineering. It's experienced engineering, hands-on engineering, mind-on engineering. Engineering is not simply word. No. Engineering is a universe. It's the skies. It's nature. Because what do we use? We use both for permanent work, preparatory work, or temporary work, natural materials. Of course, artificial one. By process of engineering, we use iron, steel, aluminium, concrete means aggregate, water, and then we have to think how to do that. Technology has been developed for that. It's not that we have to think every time. Some use technology and some develop technology. Both are engineers, both are scientists. Some design how to use them. Every engineer has different scope of responsibility, but overall it is total responsibility in engineering. I'm not telling you something very indifferent. You know this. I'm just trying to reconstruct what our responsibility should be. Definition of quality must be understood very well. Impression on this talk is quality of works. Safety involved with that. Safety is not simply that safety officer or safety engineer shall look into? I can't say that. It's my first responsibility. Safety of work, first of all. Safety of persons or work persons or human resources. Safety of those who are going to work. I want to respect their lives. I don't want them harm, any kind of harm. No. Yes, they have to spend their energy. They spend. But I don't want energy should go waste or they should face any accident. No one should face any accident. Okay, body's fatigue is agreed. Work is agreed. To some extent, risks are also agreed. Because we are there for this tolerance. If I can't accept challenges, then there is no meaning of my presence. If I can't accept responsibility, also there is no meaning of my presence. And it applies to each and every member on that project who work from each and every party. When they work on site, they are all for project working. As I said, civil field engineering or total engineering I call it, without this, no world can move. I imagine, I suppose, even this planet Earth, lithosphere on which we are sitting here, lithosphere part, it would not have been built had there not been civil engineering. I could say God is first civil engineer, because even today we cannot construct Earth. Even today. Forget solar system. Earth is about 12,500 km in diameter. If somebody asks someone, can you do it? Well, I think one shall become mad. 12,500 km diameter sphere, can we make? Forget which material. Where is material? First of that. Can we make even 1 km diameter sphere? Never. Because that is also very expensive and structurally unknown. You think of level of that civil engineer to whom I am naming God. That civil engineer did not make only Earth, but also other planets in solar system. And how many solar systems were constructed, I can't say. You cannot calculate that. Imagination is there, skepticism is there, hypothetical work is there, everything can be there, but how? It can't happen. I can say world is changing and God is indicating change everywhere. Quality has been missing. Quality definition is to be understood. Quality is not simply a word. Design is not free. Free, I mean to say, I'm not talking of cost. Free means there are restrictions on that also. Same way, there are restrictions on quality also. When an engineer designs something, that engineer has something in mind. What I have to design? My design has to serve some purpose. What is that purpose? As an architect, as an engineer, as service engineer, we have to think like that. I'm including architect also as engineer, because ultimately it's engineering. We may say architect, but fact is that is engineering. Because we are going to do something that will be used by public only. We are not going to construct monuments for no use. We are not going to construct something. Now engineering applies to use in life of whatever structure we produce, and that is it's conducted by engineers from each and every branch of engineering and sciences. I include science also here, because without science engineers are deficient. Science and engineering move together. because science is engineering and engineering is science. You can say that way. One is science, one is applied science. Everybody knows that science is basics, subjects, engineering, and applied science is engineering. Means it's a sequence. One has to think, one has to, you can say, innovate, while other has to do it. Engineering is something else. It's for everybody. It's not that if I am qualified by engineering degree, I am engineer. Yes, I am engineer by qualification, by academics, by potential. But even after doing that, I can't do everything. However, we have some deficiency, of course, in our education that we cannot deny. But that deficiency is everywhere. You go to USA, you go to England, you go to Canada, you will find incomplete engineering everywhere. You may not agree with, but it's a fact. It's only work that teaches us. It's only application of mind that teaches us. If you don't apply mind, these materials are useless. I say, okay, there's a stone aggregate, rock. Okay, it's natural. But to study that, what it is, we have to observe, we have to study, and then we have to understand what is that. And that's called science. When you understand system, you say, yes, we have understood and this works like that. So it becomes science, and when you do further use on that, you can say we can use this scientific word into some application for life, and that's called engineering. So it's a sequence. But engineering is difficult in a way that it's based on enormous calculations, it's based on enormous imagination. It is imagination also. Maybe some people don't agree, but when we design, we imagine. We cannot simply design that you design this. That's educational level, but I'm saying a professional level. When we design field, maybe people do not know, but mind works contemporarily. It works as you are dreaming something. You dream something, and you have to dream. If you don't dream, you can't design. If you don't dream, you can't design, because dream is information from nature. In fact, that I understand, though it's not proven, but it is felt. Means you can relate to sentiments here. You can relate that information to emotions here. Of course, it's work of mind, but mind in itself is not original. It has certain connections to flow of information, and we therefore call it hardware. Forget that also. Hardware or software. Do you know how mind works? I don't know. Can some mind specialist tell me how it works? That would also not tell. No explanation for mind till now. No, only relations and relations. And that's what I say. Engineering is different. Engineering is evolution. Health is, I'm not talking of health. Medical is different, other one. Engineering is also related to health, but differently. Mind is that power. Nobody can measure that power. Its involvement is to import imagination, speculation, and structural engineering is that. Maybe structural engineers don't realize it, because nowadays they are dependent on softwares that I don't like actually, but like or dislike, don't value. When it is a need, it's a requirement. It gives efficiency. So I respect that, I regard that. But there's a loss that we stopped calculations. We stopped interaction of mind. Mind was very powerful one time. It was very sharp, very much intuitive, holistic, occult based, and now it is software based. All occult, all intuition, all natural power, everything has been captured by software. Previously, we used to compute something on fingers. Of course, it was FPS system or MKS system. We had clear conception that what I am doing is right or wrong. But now, they can't decide. They have to ask others, is it okay? That is different. If you ask every time, what I did, is it okay? This clearly indicates that you have no confidence in you. And if you don't have confidence in you, I cannot name you engineer. Simple. You can be associate engineer. You can be learning engineer. But you can't be independent engineer. Independence is very important. Independence means you can take decisions. That is called independence. I don't say I'm talking of team. There are two types of engineers, one who follow decisions and one who take decisions. Those who can take decisions, they are called head or chief, and others are followers. I'm talking of designs and quality both. Design is not simple drawings. No. Production of drawing is not design. Design involves every part of project. It is structural, it is architectural, it is services, it is functional, everything. And we should not run away from that. If I can't understand practical use of building or structure, I can't do justice myself. It's very important. Justice. Engineering is actually, if you can say in real world, it is undefined. In fact, it is undefined. If I say in reality, engineering, but it is very well defined if you do it systematically. Because there is definition in engineering, whether it is design or it is work on site, there is definition of quality, which can be called in other terms specification description. Quality asks you something. This is, you have to understand quality first. Before deciding technicalities on engineering, we have to understand what quality standards are required, because that is a must. If you do not know what you have to do, what purpose it is, for what purpose it is, means you can't do anything. Just like a child plays with toy of air, with paper plane, paper aircraft, just playing or flying kite for nothing. Maybe it is tripped off. Engineering is not that. You have no right to spoil material. You have no right to spoil human resources. You have no right to spoil time. You have no right to spoil cost. And you have no right to undefined quality. You have to define yourself within which constraints you are going to work. That's first part of design. You have to understand what this structure is going to do for you. Are you working in that direction or it's different? That's very elementary part of design. Shell material which I'm using, shell material what? What material is shell work? It's not, it depends. How many years can it work? Though it's decided, standards are there, and I'm talking of elementary engineering. Material is also limited in life. It's not for forever, but our structures are much less limited in life. That's why there's no harm in using that. But understanding of materials, understanding of earth, understanding of sciences, all work together to do work in engineering. Quality doesn't mean material process quality. It's not mean that. Material means quality means first we have to do quality design. Before that, we have to define quality. These are processes. For example, say, okay, I'm working on feed. I've been assigned to define feed about that. Feed is a quality. It tells what you have to do. primarily. It doesn't tell in details, but gives me a basis what this project requires. And that client tells us what client needs. And that client is we. Okay, temporarily or ad hoc, by ad hoc this is promoter, but ultimately someone else will use that. I don't know who is that person going to use this room which I am going to produce. How many patients will be there and ask who are they? I don't know. But I have to understand their use. Use is very important. And you cannot change use. Yes, it can be changed to some extent, but not free on vistas. That's what we say. My thought on quality is not limited. Quality and safety are different worlds. And these worlds have to be imported into our works. If an engineer cannot define quality, whoever designs, I think that design is incomplete. Incomplete in the sense, only load is not enough. Only actions are not enough. Only force is not enough. Only modeling is not enough. First try to understand building or structure. When I say building, it means a structure. What do you want? Do you have some vision? Or you are based only on a follow-up basis? Now give me something, I'll do it. Are you operational clerk? What somebody wants to do it? You know view? Okay, professional you can say, because I don't have assignment, I don't have the client age. I can't do it, I have to help someone. So you are helping someone, fine, there's nothing wrong with that. Even then, you are responsible for material use. You are responsible for technical use, and you are responsible for formula use, and in fact you are responsible for talking to that structure which no formula would give you, making unknown conversations with those structures which do not exist. You have to talk to those structures which do not exist. You have to talk to their hysteresis level. You have to talk to their possible durability level. You have to align yourself with them. Very, very different approach. Once I am successful on that, once I can understand that, well, I think I won't find any major issue there. Should not be. That would be easy to understand, and that would be easy to do. No point comes in. What is quality then? Well, I tried to explain in many talks. I would explain today also, but it did not work. My quality definition is same. Every day I explain. You have to define first. First, it lies with feed stage, then it lies with your design stage, and then it goes to that lower, last terminal point of sight. If quality is not communicated properly, remember, you have not done your job. I am not blaming that you don't do this. This is a fact. Is that complicated? Understanding is uneasy. How you think they can run it? There are so many ways one should think on that before finalizing, and consider software as your assistant and not master. Define quality exactly what you want to have. Until then, design is just in air. If design changes your considerations, I can't say that you are gone on right track. Qualitative design qualitative analysis. I don't say go to narrowest world. No, broad world. We talk of integrity of structure, we talk of stability of structure. Yes, we talk of. That can come only, that can be overcome only when we understand integrity of ourselves. Therefore, I'm not saying people are not integrated, but they are hungry to move. People are hungry to run. I am noticing this. Patience gone. Quality criteria gone. Just run. Run and run. I have no time to search. Okay, raise something. Ask someone. I am finding even students doing BTech, doing MTech, doing something. Oh, tell me which topic I should take, keeping in future. They want topic keeping in future, not interest. Your education doesn't depend on future. Your education depends on what do you want to achieve in life. What do you want to give to others? If you say future means you link it to money earning, and money earning is not objective in engineering. It may be objective in MBA, it may be objective in some other field, but in engineering, money earning cannot be made an objective because you are going to serve world in holistic way. Engineering is holistic approach. My understanding is that it's not to combat others, but to win others. Concrete is friend for many decades. You cannot say, okay, today I do, if I do, tomorrow I break. Can you say that? But you can say that, okay, I buy this material in market. If this is septic, I'll throw it. Can you do that? You cannot do that. It is more than my life. If I had to stay, say, 60 years, this may stay 200 years. Who knows? Life of product, life of structure is much more than life of its designer, life of its engineer, and life of its user. Many generations will use same thing, same structure. What does it mean? So how can it be taken for granted? Oh, I buy a car, in 5 years I'll change it. Can't take that way. The car is also very expensive. But we are so liberal, okay, we throw it in 5 years, we replace it. I buy a mobile of 50,000, I mean, so 50,000 rupees, and I'll change it, replace it in 2 years. We are very rich. I'm not. You're wealthy. But your wealth doesn't mean you spoil materials or you pollute nature. This was happened because of money, power. Money power, not mind power. Money power says I am big and mind is feeble. It cannot say anything but can think. Money cannot think. Materials cannot think. Air cannot think. Sunlight cannot think. But construction of thinking is done by nature. Mind uses it. And I say I am thinking. In fact, I don't think. Fact remains, I don't think. I am saying I think. Everybody says that. Soul is part of nature. Body is that. Its structure is like that. That there is no other way to say I am thinking, because I am using word I. You can say it is thought, but even then you say it is thought by me. Well, it's English problem, language problem, leave it aside. My problem is quality and engineering. Believe me, I'm very fed up. I don't like people who don't respect quality, and I think 98% people find young people respect quality. Not at all. Millennium never think of quality. Who were born somewhere in 80s, 90s, they never think of quality. Bomb. They don't know how to respond by writing. They don't know anything. Just telephone, 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 telephone. As if telephone is respiration. As if telephone is air. Where is quality then? Why don't you respond properly? Why don't you respond properly? Why do you harass others? I don't know what happened to the whole world. How can you achieve quality if you don't have patience? You have to devote time. If say, suppose a baby is born, baby is constructed, you can say, baby is constructed 9 months. I don't know that, but generally it is said. Let us say if it is constructed in 3 months, what shall happen? Or let us say it takes 18 months, what shall happen? Can you imagine? That's the point. God has prescribed quality for its own work. System exists and that system has quality input and that system works. Solar system has quality system in it. Maybe other universes have same thing. When God is so conscious about quality, God has done that excellence of design in our body construction. Why do you jump? Why don't you have patience? Why do we run behind money only? Money cannot change. Quantity is same. Quantity is same. Rate changes. If I make a structure, whatever quantity I put in that, steel, concrete or whatever else, that would not change in 500 years even. It would remain there. Cost may change. If we say, okay, its cost has increased, agreed, but quantity remains same. So what has increased? Your comparative analysis has increased because of inflation, because of some other terms, because you are not constant economy, you are not controlled economy. There is a controlled quality. I'm not saying quality control, controlled quality. That should be. But we don't have. Who shall give us? That's the point to be thought of. Who shall give us? My point of view is little different here. In light of quality, I don't blame anything first of all, because it is our responsibility. It's not the responsibility of someone else. Engineer is responsible for quality wherever you work, as far as production is concerned. I'm not talking of medical quality, where doctor is responsible. I'm not talking of something else. As far as engineering is concerned, and that is, you can say, 80% of work activities in life are engineering related. If blame goes to someone about lapse of quality, it must go to engineers. I am also one of that. I am to be blamed, and happily I agree that. I accept that. I always refuse something which people don't need quality. They don't want quality. They want haphazard work. I can't do that. Believe me, I can't do that. I can't do haphazard work. I can't do substandard work. And because I'm an engineer, it's my duty to do that. And if I cannot do that, it's complete nonsense. I can say it's nonsense. That's my job. Why not to do that is another point. It's really very important. Somebody is calling me. Yes, what do you want to say? Good morning. Yes, please. What do you want to say? Hello? Can you speak? बात ठीक है, बोलिए, speak up. हाँ, I'm not listening. बोलिए. Can you speak? हाँ? I don't know what he's saying really. He's saying I don't know really. Some people just call for nothing. I was talking something important chapter. I lost it. Okay, no problem. Just give me 1 minute, please. I'll be back. Just 1 minute. I'll open my lock and come back. Just a minute, please. I'm just coming back. Okay. Just hold on, please. here. That's the point here. Okay, gentlemen. Sorry, my back. I had to open my door, and I was disturbed by some telephone also. I don't know why people call for nothing. So sometimes I feel happy that I talk of quality, but I know people don't feel happy. I don't know why. Why don't they like quality? It's a very important point in life. If you don't like, you waste something. To be very frank, quality is absolute part of engineering. If you think of quality and do work, maybe people say that, people object that you will waste money. It happens. People say that. It happens. I have seen many people here say, a mason will decide what to do. Means something extraordinarily happens. A mason or carpenter or mistri shall decide about design, or what size of foundation, or what steel quantities to be used. And I'm sometimes very surprised. I have seen this high profile standard, I can say, masons building, carpenters building, mistris designed building, extraordinary buildings, believe me. They can do impossible to possible. For them, eccentricity has no meaning, load spreading has no meaning, bearing capacity has no meaning, deflection has no meaning, nothing has no meaning except do it. I have seen many buildings where there's I can say about 2 meters balcony, I mean the cantilever, but no cantilever beams, just projection of slab up to 2 meter projection, no beams, and if there's some deflection, they put another column below, circular column, so that it attracts the beauty of that building. So it's an architectural attraction. Sometimes you feel really, what a beautiful artist they are. They're artists. And Honor is happy. See, he has decorated my building. Honor has no understanding of building, because Honor wants attraction. And they do it. And if something slab sags, they put another girder below, vertical column below. I mean, say whatever you call it, or put some in between walls, and below slab some involves some bearings, and they do anything. Really surprised, and when you walk and see those structures are, I am very upset and happy also. Upset means, even if I am upset, what shall I do? So I see variation in engineering. This is different engineering. Maybe it came from house of Yamraj. I can say that. It's modern graveyard. You can say that. It's no joke. It's a fact. Today they build some dam or bridge, and after a week you say it's gone. Where is engineering? Some politician would say, oh, this is God's act. Some evil power came and that did it. Wonderful. Wonderful investigation. What a beautiful technical investigation it is. Some God came, evil God, he did it. And nobody objects, they only confer. Weakness of engineers is, they don't come out in open to criticize. They don't criticize. I don't know reason for that. Why have they become political slaves? Why have they become honors slaves? What's wrong in criticizing? It's your job. You are responsible. If today building collapses or structure collapses and you are not involved on that, no engineer was involved on that, somebody will say, because Engineer is responsible, that's why this happened. There was no engineer on the structure, but blames goes to engineer. And now other blames also come politics, political blame. Oh, because there are reserve classes, they are scheduled caste, and scheduled tribe, OBCs. That's why this happened. So another blame goes to caste. There was no such person. There was no engineer. Forget caste. There was no engineer. There was also SC/ST also. How did building come down? Okay, then it was act of God. Simple. What a foolish society we are. Can't we analyze this? Can't we analyze this? Injuring should not lock off your lips. It should not lock off your mind. Unfortunately, this has happened. This happens. We are responsible for that. No revolution exists by engineers. Timid community. They blame only, they never act. It's your job. Okay, in private sector, in practice, your architects are barricades. But who is barricading jobs which are projects? Quality can't be achieved without your openness. Why this is achieved in Gulf countries? I worked in Abu Dhabi, I worked in Doha, I worked in, you can say, Iraq, I worked in Libya, I worked in many cities during my some short span. I'm not saying that I'm very experienced, but some experience I have. And I observed difference in quality. I was surprised when I worked in Iraq, long back, of course, not now. I was surprised because it was wonderful, beyond my imagination, and maybe beyond your imagination. How could those people work without any computer resource, without any advanced surveying instruments resource? Quality achieved was excellent. And those who worked in those days in Iraq actually learned from there. One of them I also belong to. Millimeter by millimeter accuracy on buildings. Casting 4-meter height column one time. In that they want accuracy. Casting 4-meter high wall. Casting 4-meter high column, more than that. Of course, equipments they had, stationary pump, mobile pumps, batching plants. They knew meaning of quality because they sought better projects, and engineers were excellent. Maybe Iraqi engineer or overseas engineer, British engineer or our engineer, Bangladesh or Pakistan engineer, Jordan engineer. You can say many parts of engineers, many countries involved, and it was really international experience that I cannot say there could be some difference in English language, but others, all other activities were smooth. That experience, how can I forget? If I understand what is meaning of quality, I can refer to that experience which I earned. I had experience of system, how systems are organized, that I learned in Qatar, Doha, Qatar, when I was small with total British and Arabs. How to operate system of construction, how to document, and likewise you can say you can learn and learn and learn. I'm not saying everything is same, but you have to think. Thinking should be important. It's job of engineer to think and do it. If you only do it, you are not engineer. If you think and do it, thinking is considered very high profile work throughout world. Maybe in our country, thinking has no meaning because only politicians can think in our country, nobody can else think. I think so. It's a joking statement because they are most thinkless people. They only think for votes and nothing else, but in actual world, engineers can think, scientists can think, and thinking is spice, thinking is vegetable, thinking is chapati, thinking is rice, thinking is food. If you don't get thinking, you don't have thinking, you just you're used to, you are hungry, you remain hungry, you shall be hungry. That's important point. After a long time, I showed my face to you because of some problems with FB. I think so far it's about 50 minutes gone. Signals are working. This means there's another problem of FB system. And I wanted to involve myself in quality because quality is very much important for me and it must be important for you as well. And if you don't consider the importance of quality, means you cannot consider anything. Quality is quality, you agree or don't agree. If you don't agree, you make a mistake because quality is quality. You define yourself, nobody is going to object that. You specify yourself, nobody is going to object because this is job. We call in contract language specifier. Specified by whom? By architect or by engineer or by designer. Everybody can specify. Designer has first right to specify, engineer has second right to specify. Of course, both are engineers, but designer has higher responsibility because it's duty of designer to make sure that this work can be done. If that designer doesn't keep this criteria in mind, that cannot be called a designer. That's very important. Designers keep in mind that constructability is no difficult here, buildability is no problem here, quality is no problem here, specifications are completely fine, and site guy can take easily, coordination of drawing has been done. But all these don't happen actually. All these don't happen. Today, nowadays, copying paste is very big fashion and they generally do that. Save file as, make some changes, issue another one. This happens, which everybody does it. One file is always save as it is and make changes, edit it and issue for another project. That doesn't mean that, I don't say that's wrong. No, I can't say that. That's right. But if it is well studied, well re-edited and customized to meet requirement, it's fine. But who has time? I am very busy for asking, I have no time, I'm busy. Okay, you have no time, you're busy, fine, but that person, that building has no time, it wants right approach, that structure that's going to be done based on this. So that's different one. This point we have to understand clearly and we have to do that. And if you cannot do that, that's fault of ours, nobody else. Definition of quality is very important and it's not easy. It's not easy. Materials keep on changing, theories keep on changing, brands keep on changing, and generally we relate to demands. We relate to which material we are going to use because branded materials, branded quality, branded systems. They have their own instructions, their own methods, which we have to take into consideration, and that's very important. I think office cleaning is just sorry for disturbance. Daily routine, early morning it is, so cleaning was not done. Now it is about how much time here? It's 6 o'clock in morning, 6:10 in morning. I started today morning at about 3 o'clock, 3:20. I wasted my time in Facebook because I could not link. By chance at 5 o'clock I could get some signals. So that's, well, something is better than nothing, I can say. Face talks, no problem. I could not share any document with you. This talk is okay. If sometimes something happens, technical problems or I don't know what, it happens. It's okay. As far as purpose is served, explanation of quality is very important. And again I say, if you want to do design work, better explain everything. Don't leave it to site responsible people, because that causes a gap between two. As a designer, your job is to define design requirement as well as specification requirements. What specification you have to use, and don't confuse. That's the first point. Try to be simple. Don't confuse everything. Confusion won't serve any purpose. And don't be too smart also. In this you use this concrete, in that. Better keep same, it works. And also simple design means if column size is 1 at grounds, then should be a 3rd or 4th floor. Don't change it. Don't change too much. That doesn't work, because you have to transmit clearance. Uniformity is much better than non-uniformity. Sometimes mistakes can be avoided if drawings are simple and repetitive, because if repetitive, this would help form work, and this would help, and because you don't have cut form again and again. Ply is very expensive, and plywood is used. That's not very cheap. It depends on method of construction. It depends on what materials you have in market. Try to keep update of materials, because there are many instances. Still I have seen people use OPC in many cases. I am really surprised. OPC with about, I can say, of little replacement of OPC by fly ash, up to 3%. That doesn't work in concrete these days. But people are not clear about that. Problem is this: our quality people are also not clear, and that causes major problem. Update is required, and you won't get this information from manufacturers until these manufacturers are very professional. You won't get information from those chemical construction manufacturers who are not updated or not very professional manufacturers. We have tried many times to contact such people for some material. I could not get information of them. Because they are not very professional, they are not very open. I buy metal from the bulk, they will try to, but it doesn't happen in Gulf. Means they give you information that's important. Now, actually, what I say, design, I'm not saying designers are not right or they are wrong. Maybe they have some other restrictions, some other confinement. But you have to think of, we all have to think of product. I can't blame anybody in particular. I am blaming system, whole system. We are also not servants of system, that's also true. It may be ISO 9000 system or some other. Important point is product. System is successful only when product is quality one. It may be whatever largest system you adopt, but if you are not able to give quality product, your system is farce. That system is farce. I don't want to see volumes of pages, but I want to see volume of quality of product. Pages volume is not important. Books can be written. Books can be written. Long method statements can be written. Very long statements. What's the purpose of that? That should be written. Method statement, methods are important, techniques are important. This should be communicative, not conservative. Try to give as much as is possible for ease of execution of works. If you can give that as much as you can, the easiest way, sight men should be considered completely unknown, though that may be very experienced and educated, but you cannot simply depend on that. Today you are designing, you design today, maybe after 2 years that design will be implemented. How can you say that guy was there, that engineer was there, I kept that in my mind and designed? No, you can't pass that responsibility to the platform. You can only write that this work can be done by an engineer who has so many years experience, and that can be done in specifications or contract documents, contract forms. We have to keep ourselves in certain confinement, that's very important. I say, if we have to maintain quality, it's not simple quality control on materials or on procedures. It's everywhere. It should be everywhere. Safety is a part of quality, because if you are not safe, I'm not safe, people are not safe, how can you get quality? Because we have to think of first safety. If I think, oh no, I can't do that, I need some arrangement for working at this height, and if that arrangement is not available, how can I work there? I can't push these people to die for sake of work. No. Work is important or life is important. That's the important point. We can't be in rush. Construction can never be done in rush, because this is life. This is not that construction, this is life construction. Safety is very important. Safety to keep in view in designs, safety of performance of structure, safety of service by structure, that's also safety, but that is for permanent work. It applies to those who would use it, but we are talking of those who are going to build it. Engineering is very different. Today what we see, that only dissemination of information, dissemination of engineering information is confined to professionals only, and that too very incomprehensive. We have seen webinars being conducted, seminars being conducted, conferences being conducted, But who attend them? Only professionals. Half of them are council members and others are some members. I think it's formality, not dissemination. My knowledge must reach people of this country or people of world. What should be done? If people do not know what to do, then masons would tell them what to do, carpenters would tell them what to do, mistri would tell them what to do, and that person who knows nothing about engineering, that would tell them what to do. In that case, there is complete red light of quality. Where is quality then? There is no professional. There is no professional. They have their own fields and they would work only that. Sometimes we say this man is 25 years experienced. Okay, 25 years experience, but what experience? It is quality experience or non-quality experience. That person used to do quality work or non-quality work. That point is very, very significant to understand. It's really very significant to understand what work he has done and how can we say that that person is suitable for this. People say, no, he has done many buildings. Okay, he has done many buildings. So what can I do? This means that he shall do this building as well. How can we say that? Big point of view. It's already 6:20 and I'll like to talk to you later on also, because something is better. Again I say, something is better. I would simply say, I always emphasize on quality. This doesn't mean quality that you understand. This means quality in totality, and that's why they call it total quality system. I don't use the word management, because management is also a misleading term. Total quality organization system. Construction management cannot be done by non-construction people. Construction organization cannot be done by those who have no access, who have no experience on construction or on engineering. Only engineers can do that. Honestly speaking, engineers do not do that. Why? I don't know. Fact should be fact. Keep in mind, engineering means fact. Engineering doesn't mean hide facts. An engineer who hides fact is low profile. Be frank, because you are going to deal with future, present. You are going to deal with those people who would use your product, your building, your structure, and you are responsible for that. If you don't care for soil, you will spoil work. And they will say, "Wow, soil, it's okay, fine, very good soil." They will claim that. And what you do, because you want to win that project, you say, "Okay, fine, no problem." That's the point here. You stress, no, this is required. And what happens? Oh, this engineer is very expensive. He asked me to spend this much money on that, and I want to save that. Okay, let this engineer go from here. This happens. I don't say this happens everywhere, but in real life, in real public, this happens. I know on a major project you will find soil report, of course not that professional level, but to some extent. You will find some engineers also there, but they should take interest in that. That's most important. And now, current generation that I'm finding is neither interested in reading, nor in writing, nor in analysis. They are not interested. That is the problem. Without reading something, how can you know about contents? Without doing something, how can you know what is that? Without going into specification details, how can you understand what's to be done? And without reading all this, how can you say what is missing? At least there should be one person on every project, every site, who can do all this, a specialized person. And that specialized person is not available, which causes a problem. There's no one to say what is not done. And if something is not done, they'll say, okay, we'll do it, don't worry. We'll do it. They don't care for compaction of soil. They don't care. Automatically it will happen. They don't care. I have such wonderful experience by this interaction of people. I can't explain. I explained many times. I don't repeat that. I don't want to repeat that. But it happens. Really, it happens. Believe me. It happens. Repeatedly it happens. I can't avoid that. COVID-19, you all know that. What's happening? Where is quality and control? I'm talking of quality. You see, now there are some drop in cases. What happens? Masks are dropped. People, oh, it's gone. Communication is not clear. Government want to show we have controlled it, and it's not controlled. They want to show it's controlled. How can you control if people don't use masks? Jinn, devil of Delta, flying everywhere. It's not telling anything to anybody, but it's making its grounds, and once it makes ground, it will immediately attack everybody. What to do? This means there is no system. Despite impact of 1.5 years, we did not understand anything about safety against this virus. We can't understand. And I'm not blaming my country alone. I'm blaming America, England, Europe, likewise. Our problem is we are human beings, not very serious. We have to take because it's better to talk face to face sometimes. And I will also say, request, if you want to raise question, you can raise question by calling on video message, by sending video call during my talk. You can talk, you can raise questions, but no other question than talk. I don't want any personal questions within that time. It's no good for me, no good for you, because we are talking of system quality, and we are talking of many such issues which are very important. And with this, I would like to take your leave for time being. A little think on later on. Alright? Thank you very much.